Hello, Teaquilts. Today is Wednesday, February 8th, 2023, and we're here with live chat. We are here at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're watching this video at any other time, just know that you're watching an upload of the live. So we're just going to give people, I came in about a minute or so early, so we're just going to give people that's waiting for notifications to come in. And we'll be right back. I don't hardly ever have the volume up on this phone, so I was surprised. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna close out of this and start it back. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and read who's here for right now, and then we'll come back with more chatting. So we've got Elaine Doucette saying hello, early birds. Betsy Layton, happy rainy Wednesday to one and all. Vivian Calvey saying hi to and everyone. Happy Wednesday. Thanks so much for being here. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell and thumbs up, everyone. That's for me. Brenda Foley is here saying hello, T and quote friends. Deborah Sims Brown, hello, T and everyone. So we like crumbs. Hi, T and all T quilters. Phyllis G saying hi, T and everyone. Happy Wednesday. Melena Montoya says hey, T and T quilters. Remo JS, good evening, Miss T and T quilters. Thumbs up to show your love and support. Carrie Richards, hi, T and everyone. Beverly Aikens, hello, T and T quilters. C Joy Creations, hi, T and T quilters. Sheila Willis, good evening, T and T quilters. Lily S is saying hello. Colette Starks, hello, T. Enjoyed your interview with Donna. I'm going to talk about that a little bit, so thank you so much. And Veronica C, hi, Miss T and everyone. I paid the rent, so thank you, Veronica, for hitting that thumbs up. Nicole Baldwin's here saying hello. Don Cunningham, hello, T and everyone. Zandra Oldham, hi, T and everyone. Janice Miller, hello, Miss T and everyone. Great day, Miss Topaz, hey, T and T quilter. Shirley Peters, hello, T and all. Bonita Nance is here saying, hey, Miss T and everyone. Great interview, thank you. And love the interview with Donna from Miss Topaz. Kevin the quilter's here saying, hey, Miss T and all T quilters. June Hansen, hi, T and everyone. Judy Hebert, hello from Georgia. Hello, hello, hello. So, I don't have anything set up for today per se, like officially. I just wanted to talk about the interview, talk about another interview that's upcoming, and I may sew some Crown Royal blocks. We'll see. I need to just keep going. I'm actually in the process of getting ready for retreat, which starts next Friday, Saturday, come home Sunday, and then at next I'll have Monday and Tuesday at home, and then Wednesday I'm actually going to Georgia so that I can go to the Modern Quilt Show. So for us, the retreat, it's a local retreat here in St. Louis. We always try to have it if the date's available, President's Weekend, and it's from my large guild. We normally have about 30 to 32 people, somewhere in that neighborhood, and we go and have a lot of fun. So what I'm trying to do for that is that I'm trying to prep my projects so that I can have them ready to go. I haven't decided if I'm going to do the group projects or not. We always have a Friday night project and then a Saturday project. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do those because I got so much other stuff with Scrap Club projects. So I have cut one of my Scrap Club projects out so that I can get it start sewing on it. I started sewing a little bit on that. We had a Zoom on Sunday, so I just wanted to make sure that the cut pieces were matching up, and everything was great with that. And then since I'm only going to be home a couple of days, I only have so much time to do stuff, so I'm trying to make sure I get all clothes washed and put up. And then while I was in the process of doing that, I then decided, who does this, that I needed to purge some clothes. So I guess that's a good time to do it, but it's like I really don't have time. But I feel like my clothes are in a place where it's hampering me from doing some other things around the house. So I'm like, okay, let's wash clothes. Let's get rid of clothes. So I am in the process of doing that as well. So it's been strange kind of times, but I'm really excited about attending the Modern Quilt Show. I am going to have a meetup for anybody that wants to meet up on Friday at 1 p.m. hopefully around the main entrance, whatever that is, because I have never been, so I don't know what the main entrance look like, but I'll try to figure that out on Thursday when I go. I'm going on Thursday and Friday. I'm hoping that I don't have to go back on Saturday. I'm actually not staying in downtown, so I'm staying with a friend, and it's about a 30-minute ride on a good day. And I have a feeling, she says it's about an hour for her because of Atlanta's traffic to get from her area to downtown. So I don't want to do that but 2 days. So I'm hoping that that will work out. So we'll see. If I have to go Saturday, I will go. I really wanted to see a lecture on Saturday. I was a little bit upset that it wasn't on one of the other days that I was going. But I know it's going to be a great lecture. So if I do go on Saturday, it will be with the sole intent of going to a lecture. So let's see who else has come in. Let's see. I got Crown Royal Fuzz flying around here. I'm like, what is that? Oh, goodness. So let's see who all has come in after. I think it was Kevin, I said, and June. I think I got, and Judy. Then we have Cheryl Knuckles came in saying, hope you had a good week. Remo says, yes, she's called the Queen of Scraps, but she also gives great information on the interview. Well, thank you, Remo. Cynthia Maria Field saying, hello, everyone. We had a sunny day in Baldwin. I don't know what LI is. It's supposed to be Louisiana with an A. I don't know. Beverly is talking to Kevin. Mary Lee Blackwell saying hello, everyone. Sue GSD says hello, TNT Quilters from rainy St. Louis, Missouri. Interview was off the hook, so thank you. Judy Smith says hey, T and all. Sandy Agger says good evening, Miss T. Was awesome Monday, y'all. I learned so much about tea, so thank you. And she says she's paid the rent as well. So Judy says, are you coming down for QuiltCon? I just answered that. Janice Miller says the interview with Donna was awesome. Thank you. Sue is reminding people to hit the thumbs up button. My brothers come in saying, everyone stay safe. Maddie Barnum saying hi, T and everyone. And Veronica says, I live in the Atlanta area and would love to attend, but I work Friday and Saturday night. Oh my gosh. I'll be there Thursday too. If you see me, anytime you see me, if you can't make meetup time and you see me at the show, you most definitely can stop me. I'm okay with that. On Thursday is my filming day. I try to get as much of the quilts as I can. I'm not going to be able to see every quilt in 2 days and go to vendors and stop and chat. But I don't mind being stopped. That's part of the experience, meeting up with new friends. So please stop me if you see me walking up and down the aisle, whether you make it to the meetup or not. That's okay. I'm perfectly fine with that. Maddie says, enjoyed your video, T. Thank you. That was Donna's video, but I was her guest. Joan E. says, hi, T and everyone. Enjoyed your interview. It was awesome. Thank you, June. I was at my Gill retreat this past weekend, was able to finish 3 quilt tops, so that's pretty cool. Sue stays focused at retreats. Tiffany of Tiffany's Quilting Life is here. And she says, hey, Miss T, I made it tonight. I finished some work for the day and finally able to sit and relax. And she's saying hi to everyone. Well, welcome, Tiffany. And Cynthia Theo here from Long Island, New York. Tamar Israel says, hey, T and fellow quilters. Melina talking to somebody else. Margaret Hassler's here saying hi, T and everyone. Elaine Doucette says, evening to all. Stay warm and safe. Judy says, I'm going to try for Thursday. Okay, because if you see me, whenever I go to shows, I always try to wear some kind of Teaquilt shirt. I don't know which ones until I pack them up to go. But it will have Teaquilts on it. Or I also have a different logo that has a big T with a Q. But I think it still says Teaquilts under that logo. So it just depends on what I feel like wearing that day. And like I said, I'm in the process of washing clothes. So all of it's going to be clean at this point. So if you see me walking up and down the aisle, it is perfectly fine. So just stop me if you're not going to be there on Friday. I do tend to take pictures with everybody if they want. If you don't, just say no. And then when I do my video, I then just go ahead and put in people in the video, but I don't put any names on it. I just put the pictures in the video of who I met at the quilt show, but I never say people's names. Elaine saying, wow, I'd love to meet you. And let's see. I think that's it. Melissa LePage saying good evening to you and everyone. So what people were talking about is the interview that I did with Handmade by Yin with Donna. I had to think about it. With Donna. And Donna had me on as her special guest on Monday. It was Monday at 7 p.m. Well, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I did a live interview with her. And she is so funny because she was asking me, was there any questions or anything I wanted her to ask or not to ask? I'm like, I'm pretty straightforward and open on my page, and I just prefer to keep it the same way on everybody else's page. So I did not want to know, like, per se, question for question, she was going to ask me. I was okay with her going off topic if I said something that took her off topic. So that's just how I do my channel. I don't like to try to hide anything or try to be prepared to. If it's an interview, I just rather handle it as an interview and not be 100% prepared. Regardless if it's something that I don't want to answer, I'll just say I prefer not to answer that, or I don't share that type of information. But it was a very good interview. She had been asking me to do this interview since last summer sometime. Last summer I've had a lot going on with my family for like the last year and a half. And so the summer, when I thought things were calming back down, things blew up again for a couple of my family members. So I was pretty busy with that, and I was just barely making it onto my channel. Plus I had the 4-Star General stuff. And then I also have other meetings that you all learned about, some of those on in the interview. But it's a lot. I have a lot on my plate, and then also running the business side of Teaquilts. I just didn't have the mental capacity to be sitting on somebody else's channel and maybe not being 100% there. So I didn't want to do an interview that I couldn't control on somebody else's channel when I wasn't 100% ready for that or mentally prepared for that. So my life was really in a rut until like October, when I thought things were getting better. I was trying to get caught up on some things that I was behind. And the end of October, November, another family member gets sick. Then apparently got a virus from the hospital, being in the hospital. I then got that virus, and it was not something that was going away anytime soon. So yeah, it was a rough period of time. And so I was just really grateful that Donna had such patience And in the interim, somebody else asked me to do an interview in December that I also declined until February because I was just starting to feel well. December is a month that I normally do long arm quilting. I didn't do any in November, didn't do any in December, so I was trying to get back some of my customers' quilts that I'm behind on, and so I declined to do anything. I normally take January off from long arm quilting, which is what's so funny, but January was the month that I started back long arm quilting, so I declined to do anything extra. I could only do what I could do being a one-person show here. And so this person also waited for February for me to be able to do an interview with them. So I'm not going to share that information because I'll be sharing it in my Facebook group. I'll also try to remember to put a link to it on my community page for those that don't use Facebook. But I just want to make sure that the video is up and that I have a link to it before I go send you over there. So I do have one. It was not a live interview, it's a recorded interview, but I also he asked me was there anything I wanted him to take out. I go, no, it was a few stumbles because I'm really better live than it is recorded per se. But I was like, you know what, just leave it all in. So I'm hoping he doesn't edit anything out of it, and just leave it in, and it is what it is, you know. So but it's great when somebody asks you to do an interview on their channel. And I really didn't know Donna's channel. I didn't know this person's channel either. So it requires me to do a little research. And that's another reason that I had to wait to say whether or not I wanted to officially do interviews. Because I just want to make sure I know what their channel is doing. So I go and watch some videos, subscribe to their channels ahead of time so I can see what's going on. Because you all know I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube channels because I try to make it so that when I do come up with a project that I didn't necessarily copy it from somebody else, even if we're doing the same pattern. I didn't per se get it from them. I try to limit the ones that I do watch. So if you got any questions or want to know anything about me, that video is up, and then there will be another video coming next week. It has some of the same questions asked, like the basic questions of when did you start quilting and all of that, but then he has some different questions too that were really good questions, and so I think it'll be an equally good interview for you all to go watch as well. So when I get that information, you know, when people schedule videos, you can't link to it, you can't share it until it's actually live. So that's the other issue. So when it becomes live, I'll keep my eyes peeled for it, and Tuesday hopefully I'll be able to provide a link to that video. So thank you all for your nice comments as well. I appreciate that, and I appreciate all of the Teaquilters that was not already subscribed to Donna that actually went over to her channel to watch the interview. So I appreciate you all doing that as well. So let's see who else has come in here. I gotta go back because my screen been rolling. I didn't stop it. Judy is gonna wear her Tanner work t-shirt. Okay. Sharon Lewis is here saying hi, T and Quilters at work listening. Hey Sharon. Susan T is here saying hi, T and all T Quilters. Kathleen Champ saying howdy, T and T Quilters. Darcy Savali's here saying hi, T and all Quilters. Janet Cahill saying hello to all. Judy, hi T and Quilters. Peggy O'Connor, hi T and T Quilters. She's listening. And Darcy's reminding people to hit the thumbs up button. So thank you, Darcy. And she says, and subscribe. Hit the bell so you get notifications when T is here for us. Oh, Peggy says, listen to your interview. That's what she was saying last night. Great job. Really covered everything. So yes, thank you, Peggy. And Miss Topaz says, girl, you sure enough busy. Yes, it's not just what you all see sometimes. Sandy Eggers talking to somebody else. Judy Smith, is there a link to the interview you did so I can go watch it? I actually had put it in the Facebook group. I'm not sure if you're in a Facebook group, but if somebody can get a link, Tiffany, can you put a link there for me? Tiffany, if you can, for Donna's that interview in this chat so they can copy it and have it ready when we leave out of here tonight. That way I don't have to lose my spot here. Because Elaine's asking for it too. Sheila Gage says, really liked your interview, so thank you. Hey, Jason Lewis, he says, evening tea and Teaquilters. Pearl Medina's here saying hello tea and fellow quilters. Tiffany saying that she did lots of interviews too, T. Since October, I've gotten so many requests. I feel you on not knowing people asking and being busy with our own channels to interview with others. Yes. And I'm kind of, I'm a little skeptical, I guess, about that, but I go and watch to see where they're coming from because, y'all know, I'm pretty straightforward. So if I felt like I was bombarded on somebody's live or something like that, I would hate to be put into that position where I would have to, shut some things down. But, sometimes you have to do what you have to do. So that's why when you're asked to be on somebody's channel, you also need to go do your own research and figure out what that channel is about. So like I said, I didn't know anything about any of those channels. And so I just needed to go figure it out for myself. And I kind of figured that maybe both of these channels were okay because some of the other YouTube subscribers were on there. So that kind of helped ease a lot of my paranoia, per se, about being on somebody else's channel where you don't control edits, you don't control, if it's live, you don't control anything because it's live. But it just depends on an interviewer, as you all know, can make or break interviews with a person if they're trying to bring out something that you don't want to talk about. But there's not much that I wouldn't talk about, except that I just don't get too personal. I don't put my health stuff. I don't put my family's health. It's certain things that I just don't put on my channel. I don't think they're appropriate. A few of my quilters on here that know me very well, or we've talked quite a few times, may know a little bit more about me than the average person would know about me. But, it's certain things I just don't talk about. So, Remo's reminding people to hit the thumbs up, step out, and step back in, she says. Thank you, Tiffany. She's posted that interview link down there, so thank you. I appreciate that. Shaquita Pearson is here saying hi, tea and quilters. Want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. See, Joy Creations reminding people to hit the thumbs up as well. Irish Lady is here saying good evening, tea and everyone. Irish Ale Lady, I'm sorry. Dorsey is saying there's 50 people, 50 thumbs up and 100 people, so come on. And Judy is saying, thanks for the link, Tiffany. Appreciate you doing that. And Mary F is here saying, hi, quilters. I'm late. Just got done with dinner dishes. So, yeah. So, as I said, I have been working in my closet. So, I have gone through and probably given out like a construction bag full of just shirts, okay? I don't know why I'm a shirt hoarder. I have a lot of t-shirts too. I have just a whole chest that's just nothing but t-shirts. And but I went through the actual shirts, blouses, and things like that, and I decided, you know what, some of this stuff has got to go. So I went through there and got rid of most of that. Most of the pants, I must have gone through the pants at another time and don't remember, because all the pants were okay. I just got a couple that, I can trash, nothing that I can give away. And are you all like me that you don't want to throw, if you can still wear it, and even though it needs to go in the trash, you wear it and then throw it away dirty? I have a sick little mind like that. So I'll wear whatever. If I wash something and then decide when I'm folding it that, you know what, I'm probably not going to wear this outside. I got plenty of pajamas because I'd like to wear like some of my capri type pants that are knit, not necessarily leggings because they don't fit tight. But when I can't wear them outside anymore, I like to wear them around the house as pajamas. And even though I got pajamas, isn't that crazy? And then it's like, you know, if I have to go outside, I can go outside. I don't have to worry about going outside in pajamas. But I'm one of those people that are so nuts that once I watch something and decide I know 2 pair of yoga pants that I know I'm going to pitch because they've been replaced with other yoga pants. But it's like they've been washed. They don't look that bad that I can't wear them again one more time. They're just old. And you can start to see that they, you know, been worn and stuff. And so it's like, you know what? I'm going to wear them and then I'll pitch them. Okay. See, I got Miss Topaz saying, yep. Melissa says Safe's doing laundry right. I'm like, I can't throw away clean clothes in the trash. Now, everything clean that I'm giving I'm taking it to probably the Salvation Army because even though they make it the easiest place to give to. And they have the least amount of requirements. So either that or I'll try to find the veterans place. They take stuff too and will come get it. So I might call them first and see if they'll come pick it up because, you know, a lot of things have changed since COVID. So, but yeah, that's nice to know I'm not the only one. Monty Pep saying she just paid the rent. Hit the thumbs up, people. So thank you. Connie is here saying hello, just stopping in for a few minutes. So thank you. And Mary says, I just did that with socks. I do that with all clothes, even underwear. It's like, okay, these are no good. You know, you don't realize it until you're folding it. And then it's like, but I just washed them. And then it's like, okay, I'll wear them and then I'll throw them away. It's crazy. Kathleen says, laughing out loud, started my grandson's pop-up. I don't know what that is to steal from my school, my attention. Left this chat with, oh my gosh. We talking too much. June says, yes, I do that. It's a good time to go through it and throw it out dirty. Yeah, and I just got to remember now not to put it in the dirty clothes when I wear it. That's the only thing. T, by the way, great interview with Donna. Thank you, Kathleen. Appreciate that. You let us know it's closed to veterans and Salvation Army. Yeah. So I'm thinking I might try to do the veterans place because I remember when I used to donate to them before, they would come pick it up. You just tell them how many bags and you label them and you just put it on your porch. So I'm hoping they still do that. Last year I went tornado on my closet and drawers and donated 15 giant garbage bags full of clothes. I had no idea I had all that stuff right. And I did that when I first retired, and I had put them all in bags. I had about 4 or 5 of those construction bags. And my niece came over and went through all of that stuff, and that girl took about 3 of those bags home herself. And because she was still working in the office, so she took most of the office clothes. And I just didn't realize that I had got so much stuff again, and some of it I still think was some of the office clothes, but maybe I was thinking, you know, you might get a job or something. Maybe I had kept some of the stuff. I don't know, but I'm telling you, I went through there and got rid of that stuff today. Anything that was a button down, the front blouse, those mostly all went. I'm like, you're not gonna be doing a gazillion buttons. So yeah. Laughing out loud. He's selling chocolate candy bars to me. Okay. I thought she was like, she's talking about she had to get off this chat. And Elaine is saying lupus. Yeah, so I got family members that have that. That is absolutely no fun. So that is not a fun one. So other than that, I really don't have a whole lot to say. I was going to sit here and just sew Crown Royal blocks. I don't know. If anybody got any questions you want to ask, you can do that as well. I'll decide if I'm going to answer them. it's, it's just not an open thing. It is, but it isn't. um, but yeah, I actually enjoyed the 2 interviews I did. I did Donna's Monday night, and then Tuesday morning I had to get up. That was the only thing, was I'm not a morning person, so I had a morning interview. And I got up an hour and a half early just to make sure that I was up. I'm normally functioning when I wake up, but I just wanted to make sure I wouldn't have any issues when I did the other interview. But I am not somebody that likes communicating before 12, if that's weird. Especially with me being a night owl. I'm up to 3:30 to like 5. Some days I might even stay up to 7. I'm going to sleep when my neighbors are going to work, So it just depends on what I'm working on and how I'm feeling. If I'm just looking at the crystals, like I said, in my ceiling, the little sparkles in my ceiling, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get up and go do something. I don't just lay in the bed and count sheep. I get up and do something, so. Miss Topaz says, I still need to get rid of my office clothes. I've been retired a year. Yep, I got rid of mine right away. I knew I wasn't going to work again in an office setting. I was done. I said, you'll be seeing me as a McDonald's greeter or something. But I knew I wasn't going to be in an office setting. I did not want to. The type of job that I had, it was all brain field, all computer work. And I did not want to use my brain in that capacity anymore, because I always had to be on my P's and Q's, have my T's crossed, my I's dotted. It was a lot when you are doing research. You got to make sure before you send that stuff out that it's right. So it was a lot. June says, I still have 3 bags to take in and give away. I can't believe I had that much either. My niece took 4 bags for some of the ladies at the nursing home. And that was the other thing. It was like I wanted to almost put a post on my Facebook page, because you never know when somebody is going through something and maybe they might need some stuff. Because I'm telling you, some of that stuff in there is really pretty and not worn. And it's because otherwise I would have thrown it away. But I just decided, you know what? I just decided not to do that. I'll just donate it. You can go get it for $3 to $5 from one of these organizations. But I would have rather preferred to give it to somebody. Were you planning on going to Paducah? Yes, Paducah is on my list of things to do. I went to the Branson show last year, but I am not going to do that again. The location was very nice in Branson. It was just 2 AQS show in such a short period of time. I don't want to do that, especially when we having a retreat and then being home 2 days and having to, I'm driving to Georgia actually, so I can have my car, and then that way I can kind of do what I want in the middle, the beginning and the end, okay, of the quilt show. I got some other things I'm planning on tackling, so I need to have my car. And it's not like I could rent a car for the things that I'm trying to do. It won't work. So, but yes to Paducah. Elaine's laughing about the Crown Royal. Wash Your Hands says, hi everyone, I'm late to the party. Well, welcome. Bonita's so funny talking about what day should I pick up my piece of pound cake at QuiltCon. I'm almost thinking it's going to be a strong probability that I'm not going to have any pound cake at this quilt show because of me being on retreat and then just being home 2 days. It takes me a day of planning to make a pound cake. It takes, not necessarily a day, it takes about, I'd say, it depends on if I'm making a full sheet cake, because that's what I normally make. It takes me about an hour and a half to mix them up, and then it might take about an hour and a half to cook the cake, and then I have to go back and make the icing and get it on the cake. So I'm going to say about another 35 to 40 minutes, something like that. So it takes time. And I don't know if I'm going to have time in between retreats because I got to unpack, repack. And I'm planning on taking some stuff to my friend's house, but not everything that I'm taking to retreat. So I'm thinking about taking the sewing machine and stuff like that so I can just prop it somewhere if I get bored in the middle of the night, because y'all know I'm up all night. If I'm up all night with nothing to do, I don't know. I have to have something. So I'm thinking about taking my machine. So I don't know about the pound cake. EJ's daughter saying hi to and everyone. Did you wash the Crown Royal bags first? I've got a small tub of them that I need to cut up and make a quilt, hopefully this year. I actually washed and dried the Crown Royal bags twice. The first time I washed them, I did use some detergent just to make sure if it was going to be any kind of color coming out of them. I put just a little bit of detergent in there and washed them, and also washed them because I got them from other people. You don't know where they've been. And so the second time, then I dried them. I washed with detergent and then dried, and then the second time I just ran them through a full wash cycle, but I did not put any detergent in it because then I wanted to make sure that everything was out of the bag. So I actually washed and dried twice because they're flannel felt-ish type material, and I wanted to make sure that any shrinkage was gone before I started cutting them into my pieces. So that's the last thing I wanted, was for it to shrink inside the quilt top. So I washed twice. I don't know if it's necessary because this is my first one, but I just did it for peace of mind. Oh, she was distracted when her grandson said caramel candy. I lost focus on the chat quick. Okay. Let's see. Lily says, I'm trying to sew some baskets. How do you figure out how much fabric you need and what size to cut corners for a specific bottom? The corner that you cut in, it's going, like when you have a piece of fabric, say that it's 12 inches, just to make these numbers easy, and you're going to put in a 2-inch, take 2-inch corner out, that means you're going to have a 4-inch bottom. So if you're having a 4-inch bottom and your bag is, you cut a piece 12 by however high, that means your width on the sides of the bag is going to be 4 inches or whatever that sews up to. Okay, because I have never really measured. I just make my bags. I just cut rectangles for the most part, and then I make my bag, and if I decide I want it to be higher or taller, then I just amend my cutting. I keep my corner cut-ins the same if the width is okay, but then I might go higher in the width of the bag. So it just depends, but you got to remember that what you're taking out on the bottom is going to come out of the width. So if you cut an 8 by 12 and you put in that 4 is coming off of your 12. You're going to have an 8 by 8 kind of a box. So you got to remember that. Something like that. It's going to be very close. So I can't like give you magic numbers, but everybody, you know, you're basically taking whatever you want. You're making it as wide as you want or as narrow as you want based on you cutting those corners out. But I would say start with something like 2.5 cutouts if you're starting with like a 12 by 18 or larger piece. And if you don't like the height or the width, then you make your adjustments from there. You always want to tailor to whatever it is that you want to make. And you can do that by adjusting your corner sizes and or by adjusting what fabrics you start with. So it's not a magic number because I think everybody is wanting what they want in a particular size. So that's a good question though, Lily. I hear you, T. When I retire, if I get a job, I want one where I can say paper or plastic. Right. Right. That's the most I will do. No brain work. Right. I was also doing my job while I was finishing my education, doing part of it. It's like, and I was going to college full time, taking 8-week courses full time. So yeah, we were doing like 5 chapters a week in 2 classes. New. So I'm chilling. Bonita says, I checked with Hancock's of Paducah and they plan to keep the store open during the quilt show. Yes, they'll be open during the quilt show, but they used to be open after the quilt show because a lot of us, it would be like 2 hours later. So I have a feeling that they're going to do the same thing. I'll make sure I pay attention when I go to Paducah and make sure I pay attention to Hancock's of Paducah's hours. And if sometimes they would open early too. So maybe instead of going to the show first, maybe going to Hancock's first. Like I told you, I have my day kind of timed on what I'm going to do and where I'm going to head and where I'm going to be. I will eat a bag of potato chips and wait and eat after the show closes because food is not important to me when I'm on a quilting agenda, on my quilting journey. So food is not as important. I tend to put a few things in my backpack when I leave my car so that I don't have to go back to my car. I can, if I'm hungry and don't want to wait in a long line, or if I don't want the type of food that's being served when I'm at quilt shows, then I just tend to eat whatever it is that I got in my backpack. I'm not picky. I just need substance, and then I keep moving. So, but I'm hoping that I didn't get a chance to go in there last year, so I'm hoping we can go this year. And so, Benita, I'm guessing that you're planning on going to Paducah. Let me know what dates in an email. Oh, then yeah, I see it down here. And I normally go on the Friday. I only do one day because I'm 3 hours away from Paducah. So I get up, leave my house about 5:30, 6 o'clock. I get there, and I'm trying to get there about 8:30. And so they used to have a bookstore place, but they didn't have it last year, so I'm not sure if AQS is going to have it this year. But you could get like $5 books and stuff like that. Yeah, I do all in one day. I'm done about 6:30, and then I'm back home by 9:30. So it's a one-day deal for me. I've learned how to handle Paducah and keep it moving. And they didn't have as many quilts. They were missing quilts in 2 sections, so it made it a lot quicker to go through as well. So, planning on going to Paducah in Des Moines in October for our 30th anniversary. So that's sweet, Sue. Teresa McCormick says, just say no, Miss T. Sheila says, when I retired, I waited 1 year before I gave all of my scrub uniforms away. I posted them and gave them to a single mom. That's nice. And I even have some scrubs. We used to wear scrubs for some of our line dancing events, and only one of them was airbrushed, so I definitely am keeping that. And I can't decide if I want to keep the other scrubs or not in case something come up. So I didn't get rid of those. I got about 3 other sets of scrubs, but I might end up giving those away too. And I'll probably post those when I give them away, because I really hate for somebody that's working and needs scrubs to pay for them. And my sister even wears scrubs, so I can definitely give those away. I retired and I stay out of the way from work. I have learned to say no as well. People just think you should do things. Only time I've done a couple things for my mom and my sister, that was like their business. They have their own business as well. And they've only asked me a couple of times, considering that I've been retired since 2015. 7.5 years, so that's not really bad. Most people already know what I'm doing, and they already know I'm busy. My mom even hates to call me when she's got a doctor's appointment, and then what does she do? Ask me at the last minute. Because she been trying to get other people. I'm like, I take you to your doctor's appointments, right? because I make doctors listen to her. I also want to make sure that she's getting the right care, where some of my other siblings, they're just sitting there like nothing's going on. I'm like, I know this is not my doctor's appointment, but if she's telling you that she's having blah blah blah, then you need to listen to her. You don't just go over what she's saying and then don't even acknowledge what she's telling you. And my mom had a concern. Nothing came of it, but she had a concern that she had told the doctor about on the previous visit. And then when she said it when I was there, then the doctor's like jumping all over it, ordering all kinds of tests and things like that. But sometimes people just push the elderly in and out. They just trying to get some money. That's all. But I make sure they do their job in the process. How are you putting the Crown Royal bags together pattern? I'm actually doing there are so many names for this. The chandelier pattern, it's going to be put on point like that. And I started by cutting out my small bags. And so because I started with the small bags, I had to cut the square on point. I could only cut, the largest square I could cut was 3.5 inches. And then there were a time or two that I had to piece a corner because it wouldn't even make it on the cut piece. I'm trying to find one for you here. I guess I must have it in my other room. I don't see it right now. But you can see where I've got like some of the little gold stitching from the bag. I left that on when I rough cut the bag out just in case I needed it. And I needed it a lot in some places. Because I started cutting the small bags first just so that I could get rid of them. Because I have a lot of bags and I want to make some other quilts, but I figured a way of getting rid of a lot of bags was to cut the small ones first. And I'm using 85 for this project. I could have done every other one had Crown Royal in it, but I think I'm going to use the backing parts for the border some kind of way. I haven't decided what that is yet, but I'm just doing the basic chandelier, bubbles, whatever, Patient's Corner is another name that it's been called. So it just depends on what you want to call it and who's doing, what type of setting you're putting it in. I think this setting makes it a chandelier. So let's see. Hi, Damali J. Saw her recently. Beb Dixon saying hello to you and all quilters. I took food in with me at QuiltCon because food there costs way too much, so I brought in my own snacks, right? And then like I can keep walking because you ain't supposed to have food or drink, and when you go to the restroom or something, your hands are clean when you come out, and you just pop a bit in your mouth and you just go back and keep it moving. So yeah, I always have snacks. I have snacks on me when I'm driving in my area because like I said, here in Missouri, we'll drive 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour to go get whatever it is that we want. We don't have oh, that's too far, I'm not doing that. Us Missourians will go get what we want. So sometimes I'm in my car an hour just going to get something. I had to go pick up needles because I had to buy Smith's needles, and one of the stores had some on sale. They were doing a Sunday 1 hour. Every hour they had something different on sale. The only thing I wanted was the needles, but I'm like, okay, I could have ordered them wholesale myself, but I would have to put in a larger order in order to have it shipped. And I need needles right now. So I didn't realize that I was out of a particular size of Smith's needles. Got a whole drawer of Smith's needles and didn't have universal needles. So I bought plenty while they were on sale. The cheapest I was going to get them from any store anyway. Sue says, we take small cooler with lunch, meat, and snacks. We just go down for a day. Yeah, that's nice. And like I said, I just go get something to eat afterwards. And then most of the time, I get something to go. and then I'm just eating it on my ride back out. So I'm not sitting in a restaurant waiting for somebody to serve me. Now, there were a couple of times that I went to Paducah early on, years and years ago, where we stayed overnight one night. And then we did eat out when we were there like that. But as far as my one day down and back, I don't worry about trying to get fancy food while I'm in Paducah. I came here for the quilts and the fabrics. That's all I came here for. So I don't worry about eating when I'm in Paducah. Is AQS in Paducah very large? It is very large. Everything got smaller. Every show has gotten smaller since COVID, but they are coming back. They had quite a few people there compared to the year before. They didn't have any because they canceled in 2020 and 21, I think. And then they came back in 2022. They didn't have as many exhibits and quilts entered into the show as they had in previous years, but it was a decent show. When you're used to seeing everything else, you would know what was missing, but for somebody that had never attended an AQS show, you wouldn't have known anything was missing. I knew what was missing. Connie says the blocks look nice, can't wait to see it completed. Yes, I'm still working on it. I still got to cut some background pieces, but I have all 85 of my Crown Royal bags cut. I need to find the other 9 blocks or so, however many rows. I think I put together either 3 or 4 rows of blocks, and I don't know where my piece is. I did go check my car from last Saturday, and I didn't see it in my car, and I'm just praying that I did not drop it outside. Kevin says that I showed it at Scrap Club. Well, everything else that I showed at Scrap Club, I have out and accounted for, but I don't have the Crown Royal piece accounted for. So I have no idea where it's hiding at this point. Rhonda Barlow is here saying, hey, TN everyone. Sheila saying, hello from Temecula, California, where it is very cold. Are you up north, Sheila? And Sue says, that's why I love the Des Moines show. You can actually get to the vendors and talk to them. The only thing about like their other shows is that they don't have all the vendors that are at the AQS Paducah show. So if you're looking for something in particular, you want to know what companies are coming out, new things that are coming out, I would say the Houston Quilt Festival and the AQS Quilt Show in Paducah are the 2 that will most likely have it. And I guess something like QuiltCon would have it as well. But those are the ones that I go to know what's going on, what's new, what's coming out. That's where they normally debut their products at. So that's one of the main reasons I like going to Houston's show, the Quilt Festival in Houston. And Claudette Bettis is saying hello T and everyone. So yeah, so you all gave me like 20 minutes of stuff to talk about. So that was pretty cool. I have been trying to clean some of the stuff out of here. I'm like, after I get tired of looking at clothes and washing clothes or sorting clothes and getting rid of clothes, I still got maybe like two loads of laundry left, because I've been like only doing 1 or 2 loads a day, because if I'm going through clothes, I don't want to be overwhelmed with all of these clothes to put up and then all of these clothes that I'm taking out. So I've been like doing a mix of both of them. So I only do like a load or 2 a day, and then by the time I do that, I might skip a day. I look up, I don't wear a load of clothes. So it's like the laundry is never ending, or I gotta wash towels or something else, the sheets or something. So it's always something to be washed in a home, right? So Sheila says, I have been to Kansas City Quilt Show in 2019, and it was pretty. I used to love that show too, and that was the show that was the Machine Quilter Showcase. Or they had also all their quilt guilds would combine and make a show. So I'm not sure which one. But I used to love the Machine Quilters show. And the way that they were putting it together, I think, made it so that the attendance went down. And once the attendance went down, then they couldn't sustain the bills that occurred. And so it actually ended. Was it, they may have had COVID year scheduled and then it was canceled. And I think she announced, I thought in 2020, that it was no longer going to be. I was really sad about that because they would have it in Kansas City, either Kansas City, Missouri, or they would have it in Springfield, Illinois. So I would definitely jump on those. Sheila says, no, it's 81 miles south. Okay, so she's not north at all. When she was saying it was cold, I thought she was in Northern California. So she's just southeast of LA. 65 miles northeast of San Diego, just at the beginning of the desert. Okay. It grows laundries and dishes, and I guess them strings and crumbs too, I guess. They grow too. That's from June. The machine quilt show was great. I think it was canceled a few years before COVID. Yeah, but the attendance was not so good. And I actually attended the last show, and for the last two shows, my comment, this was the thing. The show had grown, as far as vendors were concerned. There were a lot of vendors, and eventually the vendors started, because there wasn't a whole lot of vendors when that show first started, and then eventually the vendors pushed all the, like, you know, when you want to see best of show, you want to see it in some very good lighting. So it started to push some of the quilts out into the ballroom. So instead of them putting vendors in the ballroom, they put the quilts in the ballroom. Now, the show in Branson, they had quilts in the ballroom. I just don't like viewing quilts in a ballroom. I want bright lights. I want to see stuff, and ballrooms do not have bright lights. And so you had overcast, and if you're at a machine quilters show, they're talking about the machine quilting, not the piecing. They want to know, how did you quilt the piecing, not the quilt itself. So it's all about the machine quilting. So if you can't even see the machine quilting until you're standing inches away from the quilt, then that defeats the whole purpose. It's like, you know, it would have overcast shadows. And I put that on my survey a couple of times, and I just said, you know what, I'm not going to write it anymore. But I did love that show because it was for the machine quilters, who at one point, you know, people were against long arm quilted quilts. And they did have separate categories for long arm quilted and then machine, you know, regular domestic machine quilting. So they didn't discriminate against either one. But at one point, machine quilted quilts were no. People snubbed their nose up at that. So that's one of the reasons why I like that show. Wash Your Hands says she's in Sacramento, California. It's been like springtime the last few days. Okay. T, your boho heart looks great back there. Yeah, this is the second column. I'm working just a little bit ahead because of retreat and traveling. So I have done the first couple of like sections 1 through 3, I think. Just so that I could be ahead for the month. I'm hoping that that's enough to be ahead for the month of February, because Monday starts our first section in group 2. So I got to get that stuff ready for upload. I try to piece it so that I know my stuff is right, and then I make any corrections I need to. So thank you, Mary. Remo's reminding people again to hit the thumbs up, show your love and support. Those that watch and don't subscribe, sign up so you get notifications that Miss T is on. We also ask questions if you have one. So thank you, Remo. Appreciate that. And I think I don't have anything else. I'll give you all just a minute to see if anybody else have any questions. And if not, we're going to, you know, call this a night. Just want to make sure somebody is not typing anything. But I'm looking forward to, you know, things that are going on. My daughter's birthday is next week as well. So got her birthday retreat. and then come back home 2 days, and then road trip to Atlanta and back. So it's going to be an interesting end of the month. So I will not be at home for almost the remainder of this month. And so I'm trying to do things in preparation for that as well. So, but yeah. So I don't see anything else, guys, popping up. So we're just going to go ahead and end here, guys. You all stay safe, be blessed, and quilt out. Also, I'll be live Saturday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for 2 hours doing live sewing chat, especially since we didn't sew tonight. I thought I was going to be working on these blocks. But, you know, we'll be back. There's no rush on this Crown Royal quilt. You all take care.